Right, well, I've done some of those silk buttons. I have to say, it was a lot easier than I thought. And I think the answer, when if you're doing silk or satin, is use interface. Now, if you're doing a lot of very shiny, slippery fabrics, I would suggest that you put something like a Wonder Web on the underside of it first and try that, because that was so much easier. It was very important to get the button central, but certainly that Wonder Web helps. Now I'm going to use this now. This is the burlesque style fabric. As you can see, I've got a piece of chiffon and it's shiny one side, so that's the right side. I want that to show, and this is the dull side. And I've got just a small piece of netting, and I've cut a small piece. This might actually be too much. The important thing is to put the netting down first, and then the chiffon, if you can pick that up. I've actually got the shiny side. Can we see that? That is the, doesn't want to pick up. They are in the light. Shiny side down, and that might be too much fabric because I want 2 layers of this. And this, I think, is going to be the most awkward thing that I'm going to be doing. So let's see how I get on. I think I might need to take some of that fabric out of there. And I'm certainly going to need this seam ripper, aren't I? So let's put the button in and see what happens. No, I've definitely got too much fabric. So let's take some of that fabric off. Just while I'm doing that, taking that fabric off, I did a Wikipedia search on those James Bond films, and I'd forgotten about one of them that he did. So I'm going to go through them. There was the first one then was Casino Royale, and the theme song for that was You Know My Name by Chris Cornell. The second one I'd forgotten about was Quantum of Solace, and the theme song for that one was called Another Way to Die by Alicia Keys. Then came Skyfall, famous song with Adele. That was a beautiful song, really good film that. I think that was the last time that we saw Judi Dench in the role in that film. I won't give the game away in case you haven't seen it. The next one was Spectre with Sam Smith singing Writings on the Wall. And the last one was No Time to Die with Billie Eilish singing the theme song of the same name. Right, so this is central, pushing it all in, getting one of my pieces over the top, and I'm going to have to tease all that in. And when I say tease, I mean just ask it nicely, but just tease it gently. Let's try it with the machine and see what happens. Well, it's gone in of a fashion, but can you see there's a lot of netting that hasn't gone under? I've got the shine of the fabric underneath, and I'm just going to see if I can tease that now. Oh, look, teasing it underneath. This is why these seam rippers are so wonderful. I've done that. I thought that was going to be harder than that. Having said that, look, the fabric's come out at the middle, so I'm not happy with that. That's a fail. So let's get less fabric. Yeah, so did you get all the James Bond films? I think Daniel Craig has been a magnificent James Bond. The last film was just superb. I do go to the cinema to watch them. Obviously, God, what's his name? Names are not going to come easy to me while I'm trying to do 2 things at once. Who was the first one? Sean Connery, I think, was the best. And then you had Roger Moore. Well, when I was growing up, we watched him playing the Saint, and I think that he, as Simon Templar, and I think he tried to play James Bond as the same role, so he was a bit tongue-in-cheek, wasn't he? We had Pierce Brosnan, we had George Lazenby, and then came along Daniel Craig. So as far as I'm concerned, Daniel Craig took the role seriously. I didn't think that the others had. I didn't think that James Lazenby, certainly not Pierce Brosnan, it was all done a little bit too tongue-in-cheek. And certainly with the content of the last film, it was very poignant, actually. And I think the subject matter was covered really very well. And I still can't get that in. I look like I'm making a right pig's ear of this. So let's take down a little bit more. At some point, I'll have taken down too much, and then I'll not be able to have enough netting over the top of it. So it's very much trial and error. And I think if you can see, my satin is starting to fray. So I've given myself a hard task here, and I've certainly given myself a hard task to try it on camera. Should we try again? Let's just try again there. Right. Now then. Now that looks more hopeful. Just trying to push it in as much as I can before we put the top piece on. Right. Now then. Now we mean business. Right. Push that down. There's still some netting that's come up around the sides. Let's get it out. Can you see? I want the netting pulled tight, so I'm going to just ease that under and ease that under. Marvellous. Now I'm happy that I've got a double coated button. So that's a button that's got satin. Let's see if I can get that shining in the light. Satin underneath with netting on top. You can see the satin shining. And I've got the perfect button fur thread to go through. There's a little bit of netting sticking up there, isn't there? Let's get that in. And I'm happy with that. I'm going to make some more of those. That was the most difficult one. And I think you follow those same tips if you're trying. I've got some chiffon. I'm going to carry on tonight watching the telly with the cottons that I've got left. Which are these? They're just some plain blues. These are going to be easier for me. Nice candy pink stripes. This nice blue print, and this it's like a pink on sage. It's lovely. So I'm going to carry on doing that while I'm watching the telly and watching Daniel Craig. And the other thing that it's reminded me doing the strawberries, that I've got some strawberries growing in a hanging basket round by my front garden. So I think I might go in search of those to see if I've actually got some strawberries that I can have with my tea. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed spending a few minutes with me on a Sunday afternoon. And I hope I've given you some ideas of what to do and how to go about making these lovely fabric coated buttons. They call them self-cover buttons. Well, they don't cover themselves, do they? It is a skill and an art form. But if you've got the time and the patience, you too can make lovely buttons out of your little fabric scraps. And I wish you well. Okay, so this is Maggie saying, see you soon. Come back again and see me soon. Bye for now.